Hello everyone, welcome to public API tutorial on JSON parsing using public API JSON. So today we will be using Pokemon, API JSON. So we'll be using that. So next we need to do is to see the documentation. So this API is accessible in this one site and this link. So we have pokemonapi.co.slash api/version 2 v2 slash pokemon and the name of the pokemon. So if we try that here, pokemon, so Pikachu, we have a lot of JSON data. So at fp2 a lot that too also. So Pikachu. So to read this data, so to be readable in a human readable sequences, so we need to go to a JSON viewer. Let's go to this one. So code beautify. We click here. If you click this JSON link and paste it here, URL, I mean, paste it in the URL and submit, we can see the multiple objects and array inside this JSON link. So here we have 18 objects. So I'm planning to make an Android Pokemon app, fetching app. So we just need two datas. So like for example here, like this one. So if this is our app, so I need the name of the Pokemon here and above, and the photo of the Pokemon on the middle, and a button to execute the parsing. So we just need two data, the name and the image URL. So how do we find that? So inside this Pokemon JSON, we have 18 multiple objects. One of them is the name in the root object. So yeah, let's close this abilities array, the forms and indices, moves. So here we found name. So the name, so it's called name here in our JSON file. And now we found the sprites object with multiple properties. So as you can see, these are raw images. So now we need these two, the name and the sprite link. So let's create an JSON file to be converted as classes. So we need to do a notepad. So let's imitate this. So now, as you can see, the JSON for the Pokemon is outside. So it should be like this. So name, so put an empty string, comma. So as for the sprites, it has multiple properties, but I think we just need the front default. So that is called sprites. Then the properties. Open for properties and close. So we just need the front. So let's name it as copy this front default. Front default. Let's leave it just empty. Copy that. Go here. delete this all, paste it here. Let's arrange this. Okay, that's done, I think. Validate. So it does work. So we have the name and the front default. So now we need to extract the classes for this JSON file. So copy this and search for Google, search for C# to JSON. I mean JSON to C#. I think JSON to C#. So paste the JSON text and convert. So now we got the JSON, I know the C# classes. We just need to create a new Unity project. So new, just name this as, let's put it as 2D. The new Pokemon JSON Unity. Create. Wait for it to run. Oh, we are here now. Okay. The next thing we need to do is to create a UI first for our app. So let's create a canvas. So let's set the canvas scalar to scale with screen. So we are making a portrait for our Android device. So we need to 720 to 180. So set the height to 1. So we need to create this one size. So now we have, wait, let's zoom it out. So we have here. So we just need a couple of things. We need a text. So let's activate Gizmo so we can see all the text. So adjust, resize the text. Let's make it the middle, make it big. Put it color white. Okay, that's okay, I guess. Let's delete the text. Let's put an raw image. Put it in the middle. Okay. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. Okay. So let's put this here, the constraint to middle, and lastly the button. Where is it? Okay, in the middle. Let's resize the button. Resize the text. Rename it. Parse. Put the button down below. Okay, that's done. So now we need to do is to create some code. Oh, I almost forgot to constrain. Okay, that's done. So we need to create two codes to create a C# code name JSON data class. So it's done. Another one is JSON data controller. So firstly, we need to open the JSON data class. So let's go back to our C sharp classes. So we need to copy this. So delete all of this here. Paste that all. So now our root will be the same name as our class, our C sharp class. So JSON data class. Okay, that's done. Let's save it. Let's go back to our. Now let's open this C sharp script. Now we need to create some declarations. Delete this one. So private string. So let's name it as a Pokemon name. Okay, that's no. Make it better name. That's done. Next is let's create a private string for our URL. Okay, that's done. Next is for our image URL. So since we are getting two requests, next is we need to create. But firstly, we need to import some of our packages. So I almost forgot. So let's comment that. We need the JSON.NET package. So let's go to window, asset store, open search inline. So you need to be logged in before you need to download the package. But I think I'm not logged in. Okay, it's okay. I'm logged in. So if I see here account, I'm signed in as Martin Data Star. So okay. So let's search for JSON. So JSON.NET. So since I already added in my library, so I can just open this in my Unity. So let's wait for the package to load up. So there is it. There's the JSON.NET Unity. So we need to import it. So if you haven't downloaded it, you just click download here. So but for me, I've already downloaded it. So I need to import it here. Import. Okay, it's declared. So let's go back to our C script. So we need a couple of libraries to use. So using Unity engine.ui, using that, using Unity engine.networking, working. I think networking is that right? Unity engine networking. Okay, networking. Next is using the new soft Newton soft dot JSON. So that is the one we imported last time, the JSON.NET. So it's Newton soft. newtons of that JSON. So now let's proceed. So we need the texture of the file. So image texture, my texture. So that will be the texture that we will be pitching from our web request. Next is public. No, we need image input field. So I forgot. Let's go back here. Wait for it to load. Let's go back here. We need to add an input field. So UI. Where is it? Input field. Okay. Resize it. Resize the text. Oh no, placeholder. Let's see for the placeholder. Okay, that's 36. Let's copy it to our text. 36. Okay. It's named our listener. Pokemon name. Okay. That's done. Let's go back to our C#. Let's declare some private input field my input. So now let's declare our private row image. So the image we put, let's put my photo here as my photo. So that's done. So now we will be creating a numerator for our first request, which is we'll getting the name of the Pokemon. So let's put this a numerator. Let's name it as make request. Okay, that's done. So now we need to input the Pokemon name. So if we try to input that from our input field, so we need to redeclare that. So my input is equal to my the Pokemon name. Okay, Pokemon name. So let's declare our Pokemon name with the input field that we put later on our UI. So that will be my input.text. So that will be a string. Next is we redeclare the URL to the Pokemon API. Okay, this is the Pokemon API, which is this. Copy that. Put it here. Sign it as a string. So we need to concatenate this. Add the Pokemon name. Pokemon name. Pokemon name. Okay, that's done. So now we need to request our JSON with a get method. So let's do that. So unity web request. So let's declare it as request. So here we are getting it. So unity web request that we will be using a get method URL. So the URL, so we'll be getting the information from this. So next thing we need to do is to yield it. Yield return request, the request dot send web request. So that's done. So now we need to catch some error. If there's an error, so we need to log it. So if the fetching or the web request succeeded, we need to get the name fast. So here, if request. So the request that result is not Unity web request that results result that success. So if it is not success, so we will be debug. We need to debug that log this error. So request that error. So that's done. So if the fetch succeeds, so we need to do this. We need a temporary variable. So var Pokemon. Let's declare it as Pokemon data JSON. So we need to convert this JSON object to a string. So we need to do that. JSON convert that deserialize object. Is that correct? Next is JSON data class. So we need to import it to the data class here. So with the getters and setters. Next is what do we need to get? A text. So we need a request that download handler that text. So the text is what we need. Next is we need to put that text on my result. So on our result. So we haven't declared anything yet. Image texture, my input, my photo. So we haven't put the text. So let's put that here. So put it in the middle na lang. Private my private text my text. Okay. So why we will not do that? Let's see what string URL. Let's put this everyone to let's put everyone to system serializable. Okay. Next thing is we need to get my text. So the text above the image. So my text, that text is equal to Pokemon JSON data. So this is the one. That name. So remember our JSON, the name of that is name. You can see here it's called name. So remember that name. So let's try this out firstly. So we'll just get the name. So that's we get an error. So let's don't do that. Let's replace it as public. Save that. Okay, Unity web request does not request. What's the wrong request? What's wrong with my no result? That is that result. Okay, that's result. We have an error. What's the wrong again? So I think it's small r. I think small r. Unity web request success. Let's go back. Oh, the error is gone. So now let's try it. But firstly, we need to create a method. So we can call it on a button. So public void get Poke, get Pokemon data. Okay, that's done. So start. What's this? We will be using start coroutine. Okay, coroutine. That's done. I know that should be capital. Start coroutine. Start this method. So now let's go back here. Let's go back to the input button. Let's import the RC data controller. This one script, drag it inside our button. So now we have a public declarations of that. So my texture will be this one. And we don't need to be that to be public. So we just need to be it to a private one. We didn't need it to be private. So let's save it. Let's go back again. So the input will be our input field. Our text will be our text. And my photo will be a raw photo. Okay. So now let's add on click listener on the button. Add it. Drag the JSON data controller here. Find the JSON controller. Get Pokemon data. So now let's try this. If does it work? So now we should get a name. So let's try Dato. So Dato, right? Pokemon. I know. Let's do Pikachu. Okay, that's working. So let's go back to our code. It will be fetching the image right now. So now let's make an enumerator for the image. Get the image. Okay, let's do that. So enumerator download image or make request image like that. So we need to call again. So we need to call web requests. But now we just need the URL. So I forgot to get the URL too. So but let's add it here. Image URL dot Pokemon JSON data dot sprites. That sprites dot front default. Front default. Okay, it's done. Now we need to get a request from that URL. So now we need to do that. Unity web request again. Request equal to Unity again. Unity web request. Request texture. Okay. Texture that get texture image URL. Then now we need to get to yield it. Yield return request that send web request. So now let's copy this error. Automatically the same, but now we will be getting the image and apply it to the texture and apply it to the text. So my texture, let's do download handler texture for the texture again. So let's encapsulate this. So dot request dot download handler. Let's put it inside again. The texture. So now we have a texture data. So next we need to do is apply it to our data. So but we need to make sure that it will not appear before we click the data. So we need to remove this white row image. Let's just hide it. So okay, that's done. So but now we'll declare a game object. So okay, so let's put it as no, later on. So game texture. So my photo dot texture parameter equal to my texture. Okay, now it is our raw photo is hiding, so we need to make it appear. So my photo dot set active to true. So since we hide it, so we need to make it appear again. So what is that error? Ay, that one. Okay. So what's wrong with this? Small dot download. So it appears we cannot do the set active, so we need to declare it as a game object. So public game object my photo game object. Okay. Put that here. What's that? Download handler texture is a type not given the context. Request 7. What's wrong with this one again? My texture download handler dot request download handler dot texture. I think there's nothing wrong. I think this is already correct. That one. Okay. So we just don't need this dot. Okay, that's done. Okay. So that is download under texture request without a dot. Download under the texture. Okay, that's done. We'll set the game object of our raw image. So put it my photo game object here. That's done in our button. The raw image, put that here so we can make it set active true since this raw image is now hidden. So hidden. Let's run this one. So let's try something like char wizard. parse it. I think we have an. I know we didn't even call it start a coroutine. This image thing. I think we might have a delay, so we need to delay this image before we load. I think he can't get it, so we tried this one. I think it won't work. It won't work because we are pitching both the data, but it hasn't been processed yet. So I think that is the case, but we'll try. It's like Snorlax. So that's what I mean. So it appears. So we need a delay. To how to make a delay, we just need to yield a couple of seconds. So here we need to put yield return new wait 4 seconds. So it waits for 1 second delay. So that's done. Let's run it again. Okay, let's try and run it again. Let's try like something like EV. It does work. So again, like D2. Okay. Lastly, Pikachu. So it does work. So that's it. We are done. So thank you very much and see you next time.